All of you in this room weren't around. Maybe folks on this side weren't around. Folks here, some of them were around. We used to have these rotary phones, and having a phone was a status symbol. And there were 2.1 million connections in India at that point in time. And in 1982, as a company, we started business. And we started business in 1982, starting to provide to some of the folks here really directory services. And I think there was an innovation that we went through, where if you think about yellow pages or directories are what used to be a listing of numbers, that you want all these numbers and they were just listed out. We decided to change that and say that, you know what, let's think in terms of numbers with respect to who's wanting to use the numbers. So I, as a customer or consumer, would like to look at the numbers, telephone numbers, with a purpose. So change the story with respect to, so lay out information with respect to the end customer. And hence customer experience becomes important. So that was one of the key innovations that we brought to the table in 1982. If I go further on, Manjula, in 1985, we, again I'll start from the top. In 1984, there was a big milestone. In 1984, if some of you follow the telecom industry, one big event happened in the US. Obviously, US is still the largest market, even though we would like to believe it differently. But in 1984, AT&T got split up into 7 companies. And that gave rise to almost an accelerated growth of the industry itself. So that event took place in 1984. One of those entities was SBC Communications, and SBC was a customer of ours. And SBC actually, and by the way, SBC is now the AT&T. So it took about, we are in 2012, so it took about, how many years? 27 years. 27 years for us to get to where we are, but AT&T is AT&T, and it started off with SBC. So SBC gave us the order to do billing for them. At that point in time, worldwide, we had 403 million subscribers. In India, 2.9. So I think it was Mr. Mahajan. He'll come later on. He was the guy who helped us drive the telecom revolution in India. But let's keep going. Next build out. So things started to get exciting around the 1990s. Things were starting to gather pace. If you think about it, GSM technology came into being in 1992. World Wide Web, as we know it, text messaging, 1993. So an interesting, and by the way, as you go into the future, you start seeing the accelerated pace of growth. But worldwide, 518 million subscribers, wireless subscribers increasing. Our pace of growth as India was still slower than what we would like it to be if we look at the multiples here. From our point of view, 18 million subscribers were what we were servicing to our systems in 1990. And then, as a company, we got into what we call customer care and billing. So till now, billing was independent, customer care was separate. We decided that it was, again, why I'm saying that is, in 1982, when we started, first time we were the leaders in thinking in terms of the customer. What is the customer looking for? In 1991, we started talking about, you know what, customer care and billing are integrated. It is not okay for somebody to call you and say, well, call a different number if you want to get the bill information. So we integrated from the system perspective. We started integrating customer care and billing. 1993, we came out with the first solution for wireless subscribers as a company. If you build on, Manjula, a lot of activity in the mid-1990s. Amazon came into being, Netflix, Google at the end of towards the middle of 1998. And from our point of view, we in our system started supporting a lot more subscribers, and our revenues obviously started increasing. In 1995, our revenues were 221 million. And in India, you started getting wireless subscribers, and probably it was in Delhi that you had wireless subscribers. Wireless subscribers were 12 million, so things are starting to change. I think this was around the first NDA government, I guess. Mr. Mahajan was driving some of that. If you go on to the next one, and now you start getting into 2000, in the 2000s. Just do one more build out, Manjula. So if you do another build out, what you see is that from 1990s to 2005, and I'm just jumping to 2005, we started getting into a time where 2.2 billion wireless subscribers, 1.24 billion people with access. Now internet connections started to explode, and mobile internet started to explode. And from the India point of view, again, we were starting to get into the high growth phase, and then our growth will come in the next one. But we started to see a lot of explosion in demand and growth from the India viewpoint, and a lot of interesting stuff going on with us as a company. In 1999, we felt that it was important, that services were an important component of our success. So what we decided to do here was we launched what we call the services aspect of our business, which is to say that we will do not only the product, but we'll also implement, we will take managed services and so on, so that we did that there. And then a lot of activity because of the growth. We were trying to be ahead, if you will. In all these cases, what you see is we are trying to be ahead of the market. So we tried to do customer care and billing. Here, we started to integrate not only customer care and billing, but we also acquired a company to do OSS. So we started doing OSS in this time frame, which is to say that, it's not only the billing and the customer care, but also the infrastructure which needs to be maintained. We also got into broadband, cable, and satellite, because I think we saw convergence coming. Convergence, yes, you have a mobile provider and you have a fixed line provider, but you know what, in the end, the delivering a service at broadband and cable and satellite is very similar. So from our point of view, we acquired a company to do broadband, cable, and satellite work. In 2010, we launched what we call CS8, and then I would say in 2011, we acquired a company called Bridgewater to help us with helping our customers utilize the network better. If you think about it, there's a lot of talk about 3G licenses, 2G licenses, and all the money that our customers are paying for these licenses. In the end, they've got to make money out of it, right? So how do you make money is an important question. And what we do with our solutions is allow our customers to monetize the network better and make money out of the network better, utilize the network better. Don't lay out more infrastructure if you're not using the existing infrastructure. So if you just look at this picture, I think it's an interesting view that since 1980, which is about 32 years ago, we went as a world, we went from 311 million subscribers to about, if you combine those two, and they're not distinct, but if you combine those two, it's about 6.5 billion people using mobile and fixed line communication. So that's an explosion in any way you look at it. So significant growth. Again, from the India perspective, I don't know the latest numbers, but I think we are close to 920, 930. Again, it depends on the report you read and the paper you pick up. But it's close to about 950 or so million subscribers. Broadband is penetrating. Internet access is increasing, and there's a lot of talk about, hey, broadband penetrations are going to go up. And probably there was an article I was reading that broadband penetration and internet access will probably by 2017 or something will cross China, which is very interesting statistics. As a company, we went from almost zero earnings to 2.2 billion, is what our earnings were in 2011. Now, a lot of innovation has gone into each one of